The next topic is nested class. A nested class is a class which is declared in another enclosing class. Okay, so in regards how we can write a nested class, that is within one class we can nest the another class, right? So the class is one class is the outer class and another class is the inner class. Inside that outer class you are writing the definition of the inner class. For the syntax class, outer class you are writing then the definition of that particular class, followed with the class, another class which is having the inner class and the definition of that inner class and the definition of inner class, right? So you are writing the definition or you are accessing the variables of that inner class inside the outer class. Okay, so for example, if we write the class student, in this student class we are having a variable like student id, then we are having a method. Next we are just writing okay, so here short form is used dob, then we are writing the variables of that class, that is integer dd mm and yy, followed with the object, followed with the dob class object dt. So now if you are writing the method of the read method of the class dob, which is nested inside the class student, then that method is belonging to this student as well class as well as its own dob class. So this method, read method, you are having a initialization to the values. dt.dd is equal to 25, dt.mm is equal to 2, dt.yy is equal to 1988 and followed with the closing brace. That means you are writing a method inside this definition or writing the method definition inside the class dob. Okay, and you have created the object so that you can initialize that variables. Okay, so whatever the date that you have written, this is also belonging to the student object if you create a student object, right? Similarly, if I take the another example, if I take the another example, I can also access through the object and the scope resolution operator. Okay, so for example, suppose class a is there. In that, I am writing another nested class B, which is having the variable int num. Now its method is void get data int n. That means you are passing some variable value and assigning to the num variable of the class B. So num is equal to the passing parameter n value equals. Okay, so this is what get data. That means parameter call passing is done here through the get data method, right? Then you are just closing out the class B method, class B, and same way the class A. Now next is you are writing the execution point through the main function. So you are calling main function, in that you are writing the cout statement showing that you are nested classes in C++. So how this is using the creation of the object of the inside nested class, which is nested class here, class B. So you are accessing this through the class A scope resolution B object. This is the declaration part, because this class A is the superclass and this class B is the subclass. So here object dot get data method passing value is 9. Get data method pass the value 9. So this 9 is given to the num value. Okay, 9 is equal to num is equal to 9. You will get the passing value as 9. Okay, if further you write some cout statement, okay, or here cout statement, it will show the value of num. If you further write the cout statement, and you will get the output as 9. Okay, you will get the output as 9. So you can access this the nested class in this manner. Okay, so class within class you can write and you can access its variable as well as the methods. Then there is a concept of friend class. As you name friend class, that means a class which can access all its private variable and the members functions. Okay, so a friend is one who has access to all your privates. You are going to have the concept of friend class. That means how you will define it. A friend class is a class that can access the private and protected members that can access the private and protected members of a class in which it is declared as a friend, that means a friend class is a class that can access the private as well as protected members of a class in which it is declared as friend. So one class can be friend to another class. Similarly, another class can be friend to the first class. Okay, likewise, we can deploy the concept of friend class using some examples. Okay, so syntax is you have to just add the keyword friend before writing the class name. Okay, so before writing the any method of that particular class also you have to write, if you are writing the friend function also you have to use the friend as a keyword. Similarly, if you are writing a class and that class is a friend to another class, you have to again write the friend as a keyword. Okay, so now next moving to the example friend class program. Class A is given. In that, I am writing the private member int a of class A. Similarly, I am writing a constructor. How I can write the constructor? By giving the class name and parenthesis. And some initialization is done with the variable a is equal to 0. That means you are initializing the value of a towards 0. Then you are writing the another class, that is friend, and the name of the class, that is class B. That means now the class A is friend with the class B, as you are writing a class B as a friend of class A. So syntax is what? You are writing like friend keyword followed with the class followed with the name of the class. Actual class started with class B. Okay, then the private variable of this particular class B, int B. Then you are writing a method. Now this method is actually you want to access out the variable of class A. So you are writing a method so that this method also access the member of A. Now how to write this method? With the help of the object passing parameter as a parameter. So suppose you are writing a void show A. This is a method name followed with in parenthesis you are writing the a ampersand x. Now what does this a ampersand x? This is nothing but you are passing the object value. You are passing the class A object value. That means since the B is a friend of A, it can access its members, and for accessing you have to put the parameter call, and if your parameter pass is nothing but you are passing a reference to the object, then you are writing as you have passed it through the parameter call, then you can write down cout statement a scope resolution operator and a value, that is how you are writing this with the help of x dot a. And now x dot a will give you as a value of a variable of class A. And since this is possible because of only you have written a friend class B, so that a class A member can be accessible to the class B, So I can just read out the value of A, and A value is nothing but it is equal to 0, right? As constructor call A is equal to 0, right? So next value, that is how the execution takes place with the help of main function. When you are writing a main function, then the object A, now here object of class A you have initialized, similarly you have initialized B class object, that is small b. Okay, now you are writing a method or your call to a method show A. Now how to access this? With the help of the object. The object is B dot show A, in bracket you are passing the object of class A, as this is a parameter call to a show A method. That means you are passing object of created class A, and that class A object is passing through a show A method. The show A method now take that as a parameter, and access it throughout its method, and then again it will show out you as output that A value is equal to 0, as you have written here cout statement. So you will get output A, this scope resolution A is equal to value is 0. This will be the output. Okay, are you getting this? Friend as a class, so that we can access the variables or methods of that class. So for accessing that, you have to just create out the object and pass that object to that further class. Okay, so this is the mechanism. See, program will discuss. One more example is there, friend class program. Suppose again I am writing a one class, that is class XYZ, and its variable are private character ch is equal to a. Similarly, the next value, that next variable is integer num is equal to 11. Okay, these are the two values. One is the character value, another is the integer value. These are the two member variables of the class XYZ, of the class XYZ. Okay, now I am writing this friend class ABC. Now what does this mean? I am giving a access to the class ABC, of access of what? XYZ class, because I am writing a friend ABC to the class XYZ. Okay, I am writing a class ABC as a friend to the class XYZ. Okay, so here next is I am writing the class ABC and its variable, but I am not writing any variable of ABC. That means I am writing a method in the public, and that method is nothing but I want to pass the object of XYZ class. XYZ class. Okay, now is it clear? Now this is what, whenever you want to access the member variable of any class, through the friend function, through the friend class, then you have to write one method as you are having the parameter as the object, now here you are writing the void display function. In this you are passing the parameter xyz object, you are passing the parameter xyz as object. Then you are writing two cout statement, one for showing the ch value, another for showing the num value. So first ch value will be shown through the parameter which you have passed obj. Now obj is the object of class xyz. So object dot ch, this is showing the value of ch variable. Similarly, object dot num, this will show the value of the num variable. Now first value is the character value, that is a, and second value is the integer value, that is 11. Okay, now this function display is accessed through the parameter call. Here the parameter call, when it is has to make parameter call, it needs to create the object of xyz. Okay, so the execution starts again with the main function. So go to the main function. When we come to the main function, we have to create the objects. Now one by one you are creating the object. Now ABC class is there, you are going to create the object of ABC class obj. Now semicolon is missing, so semicolon, right? Then your next class is xyz and the objective you have created, then the semicolon. These are the two different statements. Okay, because ABC class object is obj and xyz class object is obj2. Now you have created the objects. Now you have created the objects. Now what method you have to call? What method you have to call? To call this display method. So you are writing a call. Whenever you are writing a call for any method, you have to use the object, and obj is the object of ABC class. So obj dot display method, and in bracket you are passing the object of class xyz, because this is a friend towards xyz. So I can access the xyz variables, member variables, through this parameter call. So once this call is made, the cursor will jump to this method display, and this object 2 is now replaced with this. The value of object 2 gets here, and now this is object 2 dot ch, object 2 dot then num. Okay, so this value will be printed out because cout statement is given, and then coming out here comes back when the display is over, and it will have a return 0 statement and closing brace. Now tell me what will be the output of this program when you compile this and execute this. Here, and second value is 11. So object dot 11
Yes.
here. So your print statement, now the print statement will have output consist of A and end L is there. So next line it will take, and next line
Okay.
11 will print. Okay, and this two values you will get A and on next line 11. This is your output for this particular program. Okay, understood?